Hello, basketball fans. Welcome to the Red Zone here at Hicksville High School for preseason girls basketball action as the Lady Aces are hosting both the Tigers of Liberty Center and the Lady Lancers of Lincolnview here on this Tuesday evening in early November. Election Day underway, and the tip control by Addison Bergman to Kearns and to Schrader as the Lady Aces are going to set up their offense here. I'm Bill Murphy with Hicksville Community Television. Benjamin, we just call him Ben Vanderboss, is with us, and he's running the camera tonight. One of our new volunteers. You'll be hearing his name a lot this basketball season. And we're here tonight to sort of give you an early preview look at the 2017-18 version of the Lady Aces. Shot from Schrader is off the front of the rim and no good. Now we're going to let you know here a few things while the play is underway. First off, I have been given a practice roster with names and numbers from Coach Josh Freese for the Hicksville Gals, but we do not have any information. The sports program's not yet finished. They will be ready in time for the opening of the regular season off of Addison Bergman's hands out of bounds. And so when it comes to the opponents for the Lady Aces here tonight, both the Tigers and the Lady Lancers will be able to give you their numbers, but we do not have a list of their names. Again, this is a preseason scrimmage, so they're not really that concerned with keeping scores and stats and the like. So scoreboard is up and running, and again, no score here early on. And we're not exactly sure what exactly the format is that they're going to be using tonight. They're going to be switching off teams every quarter or so. But however it works out, Ben and I are going to be here, and we'll bring you the Lady Aces portion of the scrimmage games here tonight. Good way to get warmed up for the basketball season for us here at Hicksville Community Television. And again, we're very glad to have you with us for our preseason coverage. All taken away down in the corner by the Tigers. Out there on the floor right now, number 13 is Micah Schrader. I'll have to spin around and catch some numbers here. Katie Bergman is out there on the floor along with Lexi Kearns, Addison Bergman, and I believe Harley Schumann wearing number 24. Schrader handling the ball, whereas number 13 on the practice squad. And again, these numbers may well change when we get into the actual regular season. Partially deflected, but Kearns picks it up, goes to the hoop, and we'll have a whistle. And that's going to be a foul on the Lady Tigers and Lexi Kearns. Going to go into the line. The Liberty Center squad up 2-1 here early on. Again, preseason scrimmage action at the Red Zone here in Hicksville. Kearns' shot is good. That evens us score up at 2. Number 1 for Liberty Center, bringing the ball up court. She goes across half court. Gets it inside the timeline to number 22, out on the wing. Looks things over, drives towards the hoop. Running jumper, no good. Rebound, Addie Bergman. She can lead, but it's stolen away on the pass to Schrader. Shot up and no good. And trapped on the baseline. Manages to get the ball out to number 10, number 12 at the top of the key. They'll work it around the perimeter. Schumann trying to get her hand in there. Number 15 drives into the paint, up, off glass, no good, but she'll draw the foul and go to the line to shoot 2. I want to say a big thank you to the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Once again, underwriting our basketball coverage for the 2017-18 season here on Hicksville Community Television. And so far it's just me here calling the action for you. And Jim Seiler planning on being here tonight and maybe running a little bit late. If he doesn't make it, that's okay. We'll get through this evening, Ben and I, and of course Jim will be joining us for the majority of our basketball coverage here from the Red Zone this season. We plan to bring you both boys and girls basketball action And we're working on being able to do it from the junior high level, 7th and 8th grade, all the way up through the varsity play. Tigers again on offense. Long three-pointer from number 23 is about a foot and a half shy of the hoop. Out of bounds, and that'll go to the Lady Aces. 5:03 left here in this preseason quarter or segment of the scrimmage they're playing here tonight. Addie Bergman, a long pass down to Micah Schrader. Tries to feed it inside to Gipple. It's deflected and stolen away. Tigers come up with the ball and head back the other way. Number 15. The free throw line, kicks it back out to her teammate. Long cross-court pass. That's number 10 down in the corner. Again, we do not have names for the Liberty Center Lady Tigers here at the scrimmage tonight. Bounce pass off of the big toe of Alexis Kearns and out of bounds. Quick substitution. Katie Bergman will come out. And Mobley, Tiffany Mobley, in for her. Gipple and Schrader. The corner, guarded by Kearns. Move it around the perimeter. Top of the key. Trying to get that ball inside. Number 1's going to pull the trigger from three-point land. And high carom, and it comes down no good. Micah Schrader with the board. Schrader heads towards the arc and then backs it back out. Down to Mobley on the wing. Mobley. It's deflected, her pass to Gipple. Gipple regains possession. She's being ball hawked by number 1 for the Tigers. She'll bounce it back to Schrader. And Schrader takes it across half court as the Lady Aces reset. Again to Mobley on the wing. Down low. Bergman up off glass. No good, but Addison will draw the foul. Early on in the season here, obviously, the preseason, so play's probably going to be a little less, a little rougher than what we are used to seeing. Not quite as much finesse as the girls get themselves into basketball game shape. Bergman hits the free throw. It's tied at 4 now. 2:45 on the clock. And again, glad to have you with us here. Preseason girls basketball scrimmage on Hicksville Community Television. On this election day, hope you managed to go out and cast your ballot. So Liberty Center Tigers facing off against the Lady Aces right now. And, of course, Lincolnview is here as well, the Lady Lancers with their blue and whites. Watching intently on the sidelines here. And a push. Tigers ball out of bounds. They get it inbounds on the far side on the wing. Trying to get it into the paint to number 12, and she's going to get tied up, and there'll be another whistle and another foul. Again, it's a scrimmage, so they're not actually keeping track of the number of fouls or who's committing them and so forth. This is just a good way for both these teams to get some in-game action under their belt, and again, to start getting themselves ready for the real season. For the Lady Aces, their first home game will be coming up in a couple of weeks from right now. As a matter of fact, the Lady Aces will open their home season, if I am correct in if I'm remembering correctly. It'll be on the Saturday after Thanksgiving. I believe they're going to be hosting Archbold. So you can make that a part of your Thanksgiving holiday weekend. Come on out. Cheer the Lady Aces on. Of course, they had a phenomenal season last year, going all the way to the regionals for the very first time in the postseason tournament. And, of course, some terrific players graduating, especially, of course, Chelsea Taylor. But really a good core of returning players. Addison Bergman is senior now, along with Lexi Kearns, Micah Schrader. So a lot of good talent still on the Aces squad. So we'll see how things go for them when the regular season gets underway here in just a few weeks. We're looking forward to it. Liberty Center with the ball. Brings it across the timeline. Bounce pass onto the wing. Into the paint. Shot up from the free throw line is good. Long two. That makes it 6-4. Here comes Mobley. Mobley driving, pulls up. Loses the dribble, loose on the floor. Mobley is going to get tied up, gets it out of there, and it goes right into the hands of a Liberty Center Tiger. With 22 seconds left in this segment or period. And this preseason scrimmage. Lady Tigers holding on to the ball. Clock down to 10. Gipple slaps it away, but it's recovered by Liberty Center before the ball goes out of bounds. And that'll be a foul against Gipple as she goes for the ball. And puts Liberty Center's number 1 on the hardwood. She'll go to the line, 3.7 seconds. And again, Liberty Center up in the scrimmage, 6-4. She'll line it up. Takes the shot. Bounces around off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound up and good. That was number 4 putting it through the hoop, and they'll sound the whistle. And the teams will go over to their respective benches. And that one went to the Lady Tigers over the Aces. Low scoring, 8-4. They'll put 10 minutes on the clock and reset the scoreboard. And we'll see how things are going to go if this next segment looks like it might be the Lady Lancers and the Lady Tigers. And if that's the case, then we'll take a bit of a break here, and we'll come back when the Lady Aces are back on the floor. I'm pretty sure that it might be pretty frustrating for if you're home trying to watch, and I'm trying to call this preseason action, and all I can do is say number 31 orange passes it off, and it's intercepted and taken away by number 3 blue. So it is going to be the Lancers and the Lady Tigers of Liberty Center for this next 10-minute segment. So we will take a break, and we will be back. And we'll resume action and our coverage when the Lady Aces come back out onto the court as we are continuing to get things started on the 2017-18 basketball season. Preseason girls basketball scrimmage coverage action right here on HIX-TV. Welcome back, and in the last few minutes, they had the Lincolnview Lady Lancers pulling out a single-point win for their segment, their 10-minute segment over the Lady Tigers of Liberty Center, 13-12. And we're getting ready for the next segment, which again will feature the Lady Aces of Hicksville. And I believe they're going to be facing off against the Lincolnview Lady Lancers. Micah Schrader, number 13. Addie Bergman, number 22. Number 12 is Alexis Kearns, or Lexi Kearns. Number 24, Harley Schumann. Number 2, Katie Bergman on the floor right now for the Lady Aces. Getting ready to get underway, and we want to say a big thank you to our basketball broadcast underwriters making our Lady Aces coverage possible. Here on Hicksville Community Television, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick and Jim Schmidt Ford. You're in the market for a vehicle, whether you want one brand spanking new or pre-owned car, truck, van, SUV, check out the great selections they have on the lot, or you can check out the entire inventory online at jimschmidtauto.com. So glad to have them with us once again for the 2017-18 basketball season. The Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, the Jim Schmidt truck lot, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. 10 minutes On the clock again, we have a practice, or I should say a temporary roster for the Lady Aces, but not for either Lincolnview or Liberty Center, so we're just able to call those girls' numbers. Katie Bergman gets tied up. Number 1 from Lincolnview takes the ball away from her. Bounce pass to number 12 underneath the hoop. Shot up and no good. Rebound Addison Bergman over to Micah Schrader. Quickly down to Schumann underneath the bucket. Yeah. To Alexi Kearns. Misses the first one. Her second shot no good. Third time's the charm. Addie Bergman gets the board and the 2 points. Lexi had good position. Got partially blocked on the first shot. And just a little bit shy with the second one. And then Addison was able to be there to put it in on the third try. Aces up early, 2-0. Lincolnview with the ball, trying to power down inside into the paint. There goes number 2, puts it up, and she's going to be hacked. That's going to send number 2 to the line. Number 2 at the free throw line for Lincolnview, looking to draw them a little closer. She puts the shot through, and that evens things up 2-2. They only take 1 free throw here in the scrimmage, and it's worth 2 points if they make it. 3-point shots still count as 3. They quickly get it down the floor to Katie Bergman, and her attempt to put it up is slapped out of bounds. So Lady Aces will retain possession, and they'll try for the inbounds. Katie gets it into Micah Schrader, over to Harley Schumann. Schumann driving in, kicks it back out. Bergman from three-point land, in and out, no good. Rebound comes down to Lincolnview. Number 4 for the Lady Lancers across the timeline, and Lincolnview now the ball on the wing, and a whistle and a push on number 12. Which would be Alexis Kearns. Lincolnview ball out of bounds. They get it in, number 1, near half court. Bounce pass onto the wing, number 4. And she'll pull the trigger. In and out, no good. Number 2 gets the ball underneath the basket. Her shot, no good. Rebound to Addison Bergman. Quickly over to Micah Schrader. Over to Katie Bergman. Down low to her sister Addison. Turn around, up, in and out, and back in. It bounces in, bounces out, bounces back in, and goes down. And second bucket of this 10-minute segment for Addie Bergman. Alley-oop down into the corner for Lincolnview. Driving towards the hoop, puts it up, no good. Bergman with the rebound to Schrader. Schrader to Harley Schumann. Schumann gets the ball knocked out of her hands and out of bounds. The Lady Aces will hang on to it. Addie Bergman set to handle the inbound chores. Looking and gets it into her sister Katie. Katie, ball deflected, knocked away, but Mobley picks it up. Mobley in the game now for the Lady Aces. Mobley out to Schumann on the wing. Schumann spin moves, gets it back to Mobley from just inside three-point land. Just inside the arc, and she sinks it to put the Aces up 7-2. Bounce pass down along the baseline. Out on the wing from 3, and that's good. 5:45 and the clock rolling. Aces up 7-5 here over Lincolnview. Again, it's preseason scrimmage action for girls basketball. Micah Schrader, Harley Schumann, and Schumann got the ball and was thinking about what she wanted to do next and lost it out of bounds behind her back. That'll be a turnover to the Lady Lancers. They get the ball inbounds and bring it up the court. Number 1 across midcourt. Bounce pass and off the arm of Lincolnview's number 9 out of bounds, and that'll turn it back over to the Lady Aces. Into Addison Bergman. Long pass is picked off. Number 12 goes in, and her shot is short. Bergman with the board. Katie Bergman to Micah Schrader. Schrader under the hoop, lays it up, no good. Gets her own rebound and gets out from underneath the basket. Clears all that traffic. Schrader back up to the top of the key. Bounce passes it over to Gipple. Gipple inside to Katie Bergman. She tries for the shot, and she'll get a forearm across her, and she'll go to the line. Shoot a free throw here. Quick substitutions. Katie Bergman's shot is good. Makes it 9-5. With 4 minutes left in this 10-minute segment. Lincolnview with the ball. Working it around the perimeter. Down low to number 16. Drives to the hoop. Puts it up. No good. Bergman, Addison Bergman with the rebound to Micah Schrader. Schrader being ball hawked by number 2. Tried to get it over to Gipple. Number 9 from Lincolnview knocks it out. Aces will hang on to it. And Schrader will inbounds it from the sideline. Kearns back into the game. As is number 7, Gipple. Schrader, her shot up, and it's a bit of an air ball, comes down short, going to go out of bounds, and that'll be Lincolnview's ball. Lincolnview now on offense, down into the paint, turnaround jumper up off the glass, no good. Kearns with the board to Schrader. Schrader bounce passes it to Gipple. Down low to Katie Bergman, who puts it up. And we'll have a whistle. And that'll be out of bounds to the Aces. Schrader gets it into Gipple over to Kearns. Kearns back to Schrader. Micah getting some pressure from number 2. Back to Taylor Gipple, back to Schrader. Down low to Kearns. It's intercepted, picked off by number 16. She tosses it down. Number 2 drives in, almost loses the dribble. Sort of gets it back, puts up a shot, no good. Kearns' pass deflected. And we'll have a reach in on Alexis. A little bit of a timeout. Coach Josh Freese coming out onto the court briefly to give some instructions to his players. And again, it'll be Lincolnview's ball. On the sideline, minute 20 left in this 10-minute segment. Lincolnview gets it into number 2. She stops just shy of going over and back. Guarded by Kearns and into the paint. She runs into Addie Bergman. Puts the shot up, no good. Micah Schrader comes out with it. Powers it down to Emily Sanders. And Sanders traveled. Under a minute here, 57.6 seconds. Aces turn it over. They're leading Lincolnview by 4, 9-5 here in this 10-minute pregame scrimmage segment. Mini game, if you will. Lincolnview's number 1 across half court. Bounce pass down under the wing, number 3. She kicks it back to 12. Guarded by Kearns. Long cross court pass back to number 1, who drives in. She'll pull it back out. Number 16 takes it in strong against Addison Bergman and Micah Schrader, and she'll get the whistle. And she will go to the line with 34 seconds left. Harley Schumann come in for Saunders. So I believe Sanders will have a seat for a bit. Number 16's free throw, no good. Under the hoop, recovered by number 3. It goes out of bounds. I think it's going to stay with Lincolnview. Long inbounds to the top of the key. Down to number 16, who puts it up off glass, no good. Kearns grabs the board, tries to clear it, and it's taken away by number 1 on the pass to Schrader. She's double teamed down in the corner. Bounce passes it over to number 12. Ball is loose on the floor. Addison Bergman was right there trying to clean up that rebound. And we're going to go down to the other end of the court with the clock stopped. 16.3 seconds, and it'll be Addison Bergman at the line. Bergman lines it up. A little bit short off the front of the iron. Rebound to Lincolnview. Quickly back the other way, number 4 to number 12. She takes it into the paint, lays it up, no good. Both Schrader and Bergman going for the rebound, and neither of them get it. Long shot on the perimeter from Lincolnview, and that'll blow the whistle, and we'll wind up tied at 9. So the Lady Aces drop the first one to Liberty Center, and they tie Lincolnview in the next segment. And we're waiting to see what is going to be coming up next here. If it's going to be another tussle between Lincolnview and Liberty Center, we're going to take another break. And if the Lady Aces are going to be back on the court, we'll keep our coverage here. Again, though, want to thank you for tuning in. And again, we're looking forward. There are 4 preseason scrimmages being played here at Hicksville. This one tonight. Next week, I believe the boys are going to be hosting Napoleon on Thursday. And I believe that there's a junior high scrimmage right before the Thanksgiving break. And, of course, as we mentioned, the girls start their regular season at home. Their first home game will be the Saturday after Thanksgiving here at the Red Zone. So a bit of a consultation here, kind of like a halftime. So what we'll do is we will take another break, and we will be back with you, Ben and I, when action resumes. So stay with us right here on HIX-TV. Welcome back as we're getting ready to get our next 10-minute segment underway with the Liberty Center Lady Tigers back on the floor against the Lady Aces of Hicksville. Glad to have you with us. Again, Tuesday night girls basketball scrimmage action from the Red Zone here in Hicksville. Liberty Center's number 1 over to 22. Again, we do not have a roster for Liberty Center's gals, so all we can do is call them by their numbers. Out on the floor, Emily Sanders, Addison Bergman, Micah Schrader, Harley Schumann, and Alexis Kearns for the Lady Aces. Tigers working it around the perimeter. They got to take it easy the last 10-minute session. They got to catch a breather. All the Lady Aces were on the floor with Lincolnview. Spin move, bounce pass, number 10 over to 15 as they work around the perimeter down in the corner to number 1 and then back out onto the wing. See if they can get something to open up inside. Aces doing a good job of keeping him at bay and keeping him out on the perimeter. Number 12 spin move, tries to take it in. Nothing doing. They'll kick it right back out. Number 1 fell down, so they wait until she gets back up on her feet. Number 10 as they work around the perimeter quickly again into the paint, and then they kick it back out. Number 12 at the top of the key, guarded by Schrader. And again, they'll move it around, keep kicking it back out, see if they can get something to open up. Inside number 12, her spin move. She puts it up, no good. Kearns grabs the board, flips it over to Micah Schrader. Schrader quickly down the floor. Tried to get it to Schumann, but number 1 steps in and steals the pass. She's going to fight off Harley Schumann, and we'll have a whistle. As they'll blow the whistle on Harley Schumann. So Liberty Center with the ball, inbounds to their number 1. She's facing off against Schumann, down to number 23 on the wing. Facing off against Addison Bergman. Inside down low, number 10 up and in. Nice pass and a nice shot from number 10 as the Tigers go up 2-0 in this segment. Kearns, long pass down to Addie Bergman. Bergman strong to the hoop, up and in, and offensive foul, so wave it off. Bergman went into the hoop strong, but they're saying that the defender had position, so they'll wave that one off and turn the ball back over to the Lady Tigers. Just under 7 minutes to go now here in this segment. Again, the preseason scrimmages, they're playing in 10-minute segments and rotating matchups between Lincolnview, Hicksville, and Liberty Center. Another bucket for the Tigers and timeout from Coach Joss Freese. 6:36, and this is the first time Coach Freese has really called timeout here this evening. And that's really a lot of the reason why they're playing these scrimmages, obviously, and that's why these teams are here tonight. It's a chance to play against an actual opponent. Up to this point, for the most part, the girls split their squads and they're playing against their own teammates in practice. So here's a chance to face off against a real opponent. And they get some idea about the kind of chemistry you've got out there on the floor and start working on some of the little things and getting some of the rust off and get things tightened up and start getting ready to go for the start of the regular season here in a few weeks. Sanders. And we're going to have another whistle. And a push, so they'll reset. Sanders will get the ball out of bounds once again on the baseline. And she'll launch it in to Harley Schumann, who just catches the ball on a prayer, launches it towards Addison Bergman. Bergman loses it, but then she gets it back. Now the other way, Sanders to Addison. Addison losing the handle on the ball. Count it, and she's going to go to the line. Good job from Addison Bergman as somebody from Liberty Center got their hand in there, slapped the ball loose. It was sort of bouncing around. She kind of juggled it and didn't manage to do it without carrying the ball. Gets off a good shot, puts it through the hoop, and goes to the line. And that one's an air ball. Addie a little bit rusty from the free throw line here this evening. You can tell it's a preseason matchup. Score remains 4-2 with Liberty Center leading the Aces. They'll come back the other way. Harley Schumann gets her hands in there and gets the steal, and then it's batted away from behind and out of bounds. Aces should hold on to it. Katie Bergman in the game now. They're going to pull her back out and let Micah Schrader do the inbounds. Schrader in to Katie Bergman from three-point land, a little bit short, no good. Rebound number 22 for the Tigers. She'll pitch it back to number 12 and gets it back to her as they move across into Lady Aces' end of the court. 23 with the ball for Liberty Center. And we're going to have a whistle. And that's going to be a foul away from the ball on Liberty Center. So the Aces will get it at side court. 4:35. Mobley into the game, gets the inbound, hands off to Schrader. Over to Schumann. Back to Mobley. Down low to Bergman, who puts it up off the iron, no good. Rebound to number 10, quickly down the floor, and she goes in. And Schrader was not able to get position, so the hoop will count, and she'll go to the line. Bucket makes it 6-2 Liberty Center. And number 10 at the free throw line is going to see if she can complete the three-point play. And she doesn't. Off the back of the iron, no good, and a bit of a tussle underneath the hoop. Substitutions for Liberty Center. And they will have the ball out of bounds on the baseline. Quick inbounds, three-point shot. They pull the trigger. And a push. Shot was no good. Get the Tigers with the ball out of bounds. Inbounds to number 1. Back in the game, number 33. Her pass picked off by Bergman, and Bergman gets tripped up and goes down. 2:59 left in this 10-minute segment. Katie Bergman into her sister Addison, quickly to Micah Schrader. Schrader holds up and lets the rest of the offense catch up to her. Down to Mobley on the wing. Mobley down low, tries to get it to Katie Bergman, and number 10 is there to intercept the pass. Cross court, another three-point attempt, and that one's good. Nothing but net as the Tigers now go up 9-2 over the Aces. And another steal on the sideline, and that one's going to be out of bounds, and I think that the Aces should get the ball back. And they do. 2 minutes exactly, and the clock running. Aces will be inbounding the ball on the side court. Katie Bergman quickly inbounds to Addie Bergman. Over to Micah Schrader off her hands. Loose ball snatched up by number 15 for the Tigers. Quickly back the other way. She kicks it out to number 1. They'll work it around the perimeter. 90 seconds left. And a whistle and a travel as the Lady Aces defense does the job and gets the turnover. Minute 13. Getting the personnel shifted around. Alexi Kearns back into the game. She'll handle the inbounds. Kearns to Addie Bergman. Over to Gipple, and Taylor loses the handle, goes out of bounds. So the Liberty Center Tigers, Lady Tigers, get the ball back with a minute exactly. They're up by 7, 9-2 here in this scrimmage. And we're going to have a foul, and that'll go back to the Aces. Offensive foul away from the ball. Gives it back to the Lady Aces with 52 seconds left. Addie Bergman back to Lexi Kearns. Kearns gets it to Schumann. Schumann to Alexis, down to Addison. Addison a little too much on that pass off the hands of Emily Sanders. And Gipple was the backup. She couldn't get to it in time either. Out of bounds, and it'll go back to the Liberty Center Tigers. Bounce pass, top of the key, number 15 for Liberty Center. She'll drive into the paint, put it up. No good. Rebound, no good. Third try, and that'll be on Addie Bergman. Got in there and got the forearm across the arms of number 42. So she'll go to the line for the Liberty Center Tigers with 16.7 seconds left. Easy there, Ben. Her shot in and out, no good. Knocked out of bounds, and it'll go to the Lady Aces. No time off the clock, so 16.7 seconds. Kearns into Bergman, quickly to Emily Sanders. Sanders, bounce pass to Addie. Bounce pass back to Emily, who puts up a running layup, in and good. 10-4 now. Liberty Center. The waning second, shot is up, no good, and that's the end of that 10-minute segment in this preseason scrimmage with the Liberty Center Lady Tigers beating the Lady Aces that time around 10-4. So we're going to, again, take another break. We're in the second half of this Tuesday night scrimmage, and I believe Liberty Center and Lincolnview are going to be facing off next. And so we will step aside, and we will be back when the Lady Aces return to the court. So stick with us right here on HIX-TV. Back with you at the Red Zone as we are continuing on this Tuesday night three-way girls basketball scrimmage. Liberty Center, the Lady Tigers, and the Lady Lancers of Lincolnview visiting the Red Zone here tonight. And so far, the Lady Aces have faced off against the Liberty Center Tigers a couple of times and come up on the short end in both those 10-minute segments. They won against Lincolnview in their first 10-minute matchup, and here is their second 10-minute matchup. Getting ready to get underway right now. Katie Bergman inbounds the ball to Micah Schrader. Addison Bergman, Alexis Kearns, and Harley Schumann on the court for the Lady Aces to start this segment of the preseason scrimmage. Ball loose on the floor, taken away by Lincolnview, and they'll, well, I'm not going to call it a jump ball. They'll tie it up, and that'll be Lincolnview's ball. Out of bounds on the sideline. Glad to have you here with us tonight again. Hope you're enjoying this early look at the girls basketball squad. Again, just a very early preseason scrimmage. And mostly just playing, a chance to get some game conditions under their belt. Coach Josh Freese looking things over. Lady Aces had a very successful basketball season last year and hoping to build on that with the program this year. Long pass down to Katie Bergman. Tries to bounce pass along the baseline to Alexis Kern, and it gets kicked out of bounds by one of the Lincolnview players. Shot is up by Alexis Kearns. No good, so we still have no score here. Number 12 from Lincolnview pulls the trigger from three-point land. That's no good. Katie Bergman with the rebound over to Micah Schrader. Down in the corner, Harley Schumann. Schumann to Katie Bergman. Taken away by number 1 from Lincolnview, right out of the hands of Micah Schrader, and Schrader hacks her as she goes to the hoop. That'll send her to the line. So Lincolnview at the free throw line, looking to break the scoring ice for this preseason segment. Shot is up and good. Schrader in a little bit of trouble, gets it to Kearns. Kearns rockets it down the court to Addie Bergman all alone beneath the bucket, up and in. That should tie things up. Long pass way over the head of the Lincolnview player and out of bounds to the Lady Aces. Lexi Kearns looking to get the ball inbounds, partially deflected and stolen away by Lincolnview. The number 1 passes it to number 12. She goes strong to the hoop, blocked by Addison Bergman. Double dribble called, and that'll turn it back over to the Lady Aces. And it looks like they're working on the scoreboard. Scoreboard just went blank and then reset, and now it's gone dead again. So we'll keep calling the action. 6:34, and there it comes back to life again. Another foul beneath the bucket. One of the Lincolnview players looks like she might have gotten an elbow to the chin. It'll be Lady Lancers ball, out of bounds, inbounds. And here comes Lincolnview working it up the court, across half court. The timeline, the number 3 on the wing. She works around and takes a shot from the free throw line off the iron and no good. Run down. And they'll reset their offense. They maintain possession. Number 4. With the ball loose on the floor. And scooped up by Micah Schrader. And Schrader double dribbled, trying to get the ball under control. So it'll turn it back over to Lincolnview with 5 minutes to go here. What I think is going to be the last segment of basketball played here tonight. Inbounds once again to Lincolnview's number 1. We're all tied at 2 points each here. And that's stolen away by Addie Bergman. Bergman's going to hold up. Gets it to Schrader. Micah brings it across half court. Down to Katie Bergman on the wing. Katie looking over. Gets it to Harley Schumann at top of the key. Back to Bergman on the wing once again. And back to Schrader, down to Addison. Addison driving baseline, bounce pass to Katie Bergman for 3. Off the iron, no good. Rebound Lincolnview, quickly down the floor, number 3. She stops. Lets the rest of her teammates catch up to her. Number 1 at the top of the key with the ball now for the Lady Lancers. Into the paint, puts it up, no good. A whistle, and that'll be a foul. She'll go to the line. 4:20 left here. Our preseason girls basketball scrimmage coverage on HIX-TV, brought to you by the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, or online at jimschmidtauto.com. Lincolnview at the free throw line, shot up, no good. Rebound, Lincolnview puts it back up, and that one goes down. So they missed the free throw, but they get the board and the bucket afterwards to go up 5-2. Schumann with the ball now for the Lady Aces. Long pass down to Katie Bergman. It's going to get bumped, and she'll double dribble and turn the ball over underneath the bucket. Katie will come out. And Tiffany Mobley into the game now, along with Emily Sanders. Lincolnview into the paint. Shot up from number 2 is no good. Deflected. Comes up into the hands of Micah Schrader, down to Schumann. She'll kick it back to Schrader. Schrader being guarded by Lincolnview's number 1. Gets it to Emily Sanders. Sanders to Schumann. Schumann will drive in towards the baseline. Puts it up off glass. No good. Rebound Lincolnview. Number 12 gets it off to number 1. She'll bring it across the timeline. 2:45 left to go. Number 2 on the wing for Lincolnview. Tries to get it inside, deflected by Tiffany Mobley. Mobley going straight up the court. She stops, tries to flip it over to Sanders, and it's picked off by Lincolnview's number 16. So Lincolnview gets the ball back, and they'll hold it up while everybody moves to the other end of the floor. Number 2 on the wing, bounce pass to number 1 into the paint up, and it bounces around and goes down. 7-2 now, Lincolnview. Harley Schumann will step out for a breather, and Gipple will come in to spell her. Alexis Kearns gets the ball inbounds to Micah Schrader, back to Lexi. Down to Gipple. Gipple back to Schrader as they try to break the pressure. Mobley tries to get it down to Sanders. It's picked off, but the Lincolnview player travels. And so they'll turn it back over to the Lady Aces. On the baseline, right beneath the bucket. Sanders looking to get the ball inbounds. Emily looking around, looking for some help. Gets it into Micah Schrader. Schrader into the paint, kicks it out to Mobley. Mobley launches a 3 off the back of the iron. No good. Rebound Lincolnview. And she'll lose it on the sideline there. The Aces defenders were just standing there with their arms up. They didn't move, and the Lincolnview player tripped over Sanders' feet and fell out of bounds. So that'll turn it over to Hicksville. With under a minute to go, Mobley with the ball. Gets it to Sanders. Sanders, bounce pass down to Schrader in the corner. Schrader back out to Sanders, around inside to Lexi Kearns, and a whistle and a push. So Alexis Kearns draws the foul with 40.3 seconds. Aces down by 5, 7-2, but Alexis Kearns will be at the line. Shot is up and good. One more for Alexis. Gets them both. Nothing but net. Second time around. Couple good-looking free throws. That draws the Aces to within a couple. Within 3, 7-4. Lincolnview's number 9 to 16. They'll push it over on the wing and then back out up to the top of the key with 25 seconds left. Number 2 inside to number 3, kicks it back out to 16. They'll work it around. Number 16 goes in low, loses the ball. Kearns picks it up, gets it off to Mobley with 13 seconds. Tiffany Mobley out to Micah Schrader. Schrader for 3, a long 3 off the back of the iron. No good. Rebound Lincolnview with 2-1. And that'll be it. Lincolnview will take that segment, that 10-minute segment. 7-4, the final score. And that's going to wrap things up here for the scrimmage here tonight as the teams are going to huddle up. And again, we want to say a big thank you, first off, to the Hicksville Athletic Department. Looking forward to being here in the red zone for the 2017-18 basketball season. Anticipating a lot of great action and a lot of fun bringing you the games here on Hicksville Community Television. Thanks also to head coach Josh Freese. Scrimmage games they don't have quite the setup going as they do for the regular season games. So Coach Freese helping us out, making sure we had our space and got us all set up and everything else. So I want to thank him so very much as well. Big thank you too to our basketball broadcast underwriters here on Hicksville Community Television, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships, Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, the Jim Schmidt Truck Lot, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. And with that, we're going to wrap up our preseason girls basketball scrimmage coverage here on Hicksville Community Television. Glad to have you with us. Hope you enjoyed the coverage, and we'll look forward to the Lady Aces home opener coming up right here at the Red Zone against Archbold on the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So, for Ben Vanderboss on on the camera. I'm Bill Murphy for Hicksville Community Television, wishing you good night and good sports.